So people always ask me, what is Say Yes? And going to Buffalo, there's a lot of students from all over the world that don't really know about Say Yes. And the more I think about it and go through what Say Yes actually is, I like to compare it to this story about chickens and eagles. So there once was an eagle who had a nest at the top of the mountain. And one day, their eggs rolled down the mountain. And they landed in this chicken coop. And now chickens being chickens, they sat on the eggs, thinking that they were their chicken eggs. Now, eventually over time, the eggs hatched, and out came eagles. But the chickens thought, well, I sat on you, so you must be a chicken. Now you're an ugly chicken, but you're still a chicken. And I mean, these eagles, they lived with the chickens, they grew up with them, they played with them. They went to school, got themselves a chicken education. They got themselves a chicken job and married a chicken wife. So one day, there was a group of eagles flying over the chicken coop. And while all of the chickens are meeting in their nest, networking, hanging out, the eagles noticed that there were other eagles in the chicken coop, walking like chickens, talking like chickens, and clucking like chickens. So the eagles came down and surrounded all of the chickens. And everybody ran, except for the eagles that thought they were chickens. And the eagles said, "Why are you with all of these chickens? What are you doing?" And they said, "We're chickens." And so the eagles said, "No. You're eagles. You're meant for a life in the sky. You can soar, you can fly. The possibilities are limitless. You can do so much more than peck seeds off of dirt." And the eagles, thinking that they were chickens, they said, "No, that's impossible. We can't fly, we can't do any of these things. All we know is life in that den." And then the eagles got very angry. And then they took all of the eagles that thought they were chickens, and they said, "We're going to teach you how to fly. We're going to teach you how to leave this place behind, because you don't belong here." And so day after day, they taught these chickens who thought they were eagles how to fly. And what happened? The eagles would run, they would jump, they would soar, and they would fall right on their face. And then they would get up, they would run, they would jump, they would soar, and fall right on their face again. And then they would run, they would jump, they would soar, and fall right back on their faces again. And some eagles, they said, "We can't do it. We're chickens, for crying out loud. It's hard, it's rough, it's difficult. There's no way we can fly." And the eagles said, "No, you can fly, because I believe in you." And eventually they kept working with these eagles who thought they were chickens. And one day, the eagles took off, they ran, they jumped, they flew, and they kept on soaring. And then the eagles said, "I told you, you were an eagle. Now go fly." So what does this story have to do with Say Yes? Now see, when I was in school, me and my friends, we were chickens. You see, we grew up on the streets. All we knew was a life of mediocrity. We didn't know any better. We didn't see college as a way for us to go somewhere. All we knew was simple things. We were simple-minded people. I mean, we went to school, we played around, we did whatever we thought, because we didn't know any better. And when somebody asked me, "Do you want to go to college?" I said, "No, I'm not college material. You know what, I'm going to be a firefighter." And the lady that asked me this, she said, "Jamel, first of all, you're too skinny to be a firefighter." And then second of all, I've never heard of you speak of this. Never. And I started thinking. And then what was in the back of my mind was a thought. You see, my mother didn't graduate high school. My father didn't graduate high school. My grandfather didn't graduate high school. And his father before him. And none of them went on to go to college. And in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do something more. I always wanted to break this cycle of failure, of not going for more in life, of not pursuing my dreams, of not persevering. And then this organization called Say Yes came. And they said, we want to help you go to college. We want to help you do more in your life because we believe in you. And then I started to think that maybe through them, I can help break this cycle. Because I knew for a fact that I wouldn't be able to pay for college. You know, that's why I did the chicken things. But you see, they thought that I was an eagle. No, they knew I was an eagle. They knew that I could fly, that I could do some things that I never thought was possible. You see, I always wondered what I can do, what I could be, what I could have. What my life would look like if I didn't count the cost. If I was willing to go that extra mile. To take things a little bit more seriously. And Lisa and her team came and they showed me some things. They showed me some opportunities that I'm ever grateful for. And the second thing that I thought of was when Say Yes came to me and said, we can help you go to school. I thought of my mother. My mother, she raised 3 kids by herself. She invested in me some things that I could never give back to her. And I said, I gotta do this for Mom. I gotta go to the next level for Mom. I gotta give her a return on her investment because she put too much in me for me not to take on the opportunity. So I talked to my mother about it and she said, son, do it. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. And the thing that surprised me most, Say Yes wasn't just these people that were coming to you just to get their name out there, just to show their stuff, just to show off and say, well, look what we're doing this, we're doing that. What are you doing? They were genuine people that cared. You see, I enrolled in their summer program. And in the program, I was diagnosed with a disease. And this was the most thing that touched my heart. I have type 1 diabetes. And the most significant thing that they could have did for me was not give me an education. They put me in an environment that was crucial for my development, for my health. I mean, they would introduce me to people, they would bring me to events, they would show me to other speakers. And all of this changed my life. And I knew that Say Yes was real. And so when people always come to me and they say, well, why is Say Yes good for Syracuse? What do they do? What are they about? Tell me about them. And the best way that I can explain it is through an exercise. Now, if you all be so kind to do it with me, I want everybody to take their finger, their index finger, and follow me. Now, I want you to put your finger right on your cheek.
Oh, wait.
Cheek. Here's the thing. A lot of you put it on your nose, right? Now people would always say, Jamel, I want to see you succeed. I want you to be more in life. I want you to go places that all of your friends that's in jail, that's dead, I want you to be more than them. I want you to do some things to help other people. I want to see you grow as a person and as an individual. I want that for you, Jamel. And I'll say, man, that's amazing. When can we start? And the difference between them and Say Yes was their actions. You see, I can tell you whatever. I can tell you to put your finger on your cheek. I can tell you to do whatever. But when you see my actions, they speak louder than words. A wise man once said, your actions speak so loud that I can barely hear what you're saying. Now these people, they would always tell me that I want to see you grow, I want to see you succeed. But they never did anything for me. They never showed me the way. They never took me to the road that was less traveled. Until Say Yes came, grabbed my hand, and they showed me with their actions that they cared, that they respected me, that they wanted to do something for my life, that they wanted to see me in a better position. So, what is Say Yes? And why is it good for Syracuse? Say Yes is an organization that's for the people. And they're good for Syracuse because they lead by example. They lead with their actions. They don't just talk. Talk is cheap. They do it. They show you what they're about. That's why I believe in Say Yes. And in turn, I believe in Syracuse because of Say Yes.